Hey everybody, my name is Michael and I just started this channel called Shooter Game News. I do play shooter games casually. I would not call myself a sweat by any means. I'm not going to be putting out any Dr. Disrespect, videos killing 100 people in a match or anything, but I do play Arc Raiders, I play Battlefield, I play a few games, and I have a lot of fun doing it. A lot of great content creators out there, but I noticed that the Arc Raiders content creators didn't pick up on something that I picked up on, and I've been waiting around actually for almost 2 weeks thinking that somebody would make this video because it was so obvious to me, and it's about the Converging Paths event, the one where the Nomads are having us collect these items that seem random, but there was an episode of the television show Vikings, season 1, episode 2, where this was back in I think it takes place in 750 AD, 800 AD, something like that. And the Vikings were using this sundial device to sail west. So back then, if you're in, it's funny because Embark is from Sweden, right? So, they've got some Viking blood going on there. But if you were sailing west from Sweden, you could get to a point where you couldn't see any more land masses, and that would get scary because the navigation, how you're going to get home, all that kind of stuff, right? Well, they were using this device to continually sail west using the sun and positioning and the stars and this kind of thing. I actually haven't watched the show in a while. I need to go back and watch it. But it jogged my memory for these items that we're using now, the Tellurion, the Sextant, the Equatorial Sundial, and all those things. I noticed that they're all for navigation and positioning yourself in an analog way without using radar and GPS satellites to navigate. The in-game caption says that the Sextant was once thought to be a rudimentary spaceship prototype, but Nomads claim it is a sophisticated method for documenting one's travels. The wording is interesting because a real sextant is one of the most important navigation tools ever made. In real life, it was essential for sailors navigating vast oceans before modern GPS. Like I just said, it measures the angle between a celestial body like the sun or a star and the horizon. With the right timekeeping and the right charts, sailors could use a sextant to figure out where they were on the ocean. And to use the word spaceship prototype, it's not a joke. I think that it's just their way of inserting the lore. And Embark is one of these companies that's kind of breadcrumbing us, giving us all these little things. And sometimes we just lose sight of what they're trying to tell us, or all these little clues, or put those clues together. If you look at the Equatorial Sundial, the caption says, "A marvel of ancient ingenuity that people interested in stargazing may find the patterns oddly familiar." There's another clue. Equatorial Sundial is not just a garden decoration, it's a timekeeping device that is aligned with the Earth's axis. Its design connects the sun, the Earth's rotation, the passage of time, in a way it turns the sky into a clock. So that pairs perfectly with a sextant, right? And sorry, I did some research. I'm staring at my screen. I hate to just do a reading, but if I take the camera off, you guys are going to think I'm AI, and if I'm reading this, my eye line is not on the camera. I'm sorry. So then we get to the Tellurion, a mechanical model showing the relationship between the Earth, the Moon, and the Sun. That means these relics aren't just useful for travel across land. It is also pointing at orbital patterns, seasons, lunar movement, and celestial mechanics. That is where the theory starts to get really interesting because, in my opinion, the Nomads aren't gathering tools that explain how bodies move through space. They're actually using these as like a blueprint. Here's another little bit of evidence. The train model. You wouldn't think anything of the train, right? Caption says, this is in the game. You can look at it itself. It says, the caption says, handcrafted with full underbody detailing, these models offer a surprisingly intricate schematic of pre-Exodus locomotion. So it's basically the same thing. I think that they are using the technology that comes from the observation of the locomotion underneath the trains to help them build a schematic or a blueprint for creating a craft that can fly. All right. Also, you're trying to pick up vintage steering wheels, which could represent analog control, or maybe they're using these wheels or a gear in these wheels to make actual wheels. It's hard to tell, but picking up a vintage steering wheel for this project is a coincidence. So here we are. A train model, a steering wheel, a sextant, a Equatorial Sundial, and a Tellurion. Putting together a schematic. I don't know if the Nomads are going to build it themselves or if they are going to just reach out for help to build this to Speranza or somebody else as they gather these parts to make this craft. And it is my theory that the Nomads are going to be the ones that are responsible for creating this craft that floats around the map. I'm going to add one more thing. Embark is not new to the people jumping on the craft and riding around the map. For anybody who's played the finals, which I have and I love, and between Tech Test 2 and the release of the game was like 6 months. So I wanted to check out what Embark was doing on the finals. The finals is an excellent game. Excellent multiplayer game. If you're into team deathmatch and small PvP maps like that, it is a lot of fun. All the maps are destructible. I think the movement, the way the guns feel and all that is even better than Call of Duty and a lot of other games. It's completely free on all platforms, so you're not losing anything by checking it out. But I haven't played the game in months, so I've got my butt whooped just so I could make some footage for you guys to show you this craft is floating around the map. It runs into things. It destroys the environment as it goes. And in this game mode called Power Shift, you've got to occupy the ramp for a certain amount of seconds to gain points. That is your objective. And the other teams are coming out trying to blow you away and, shoot you off the platform or use ropes to like drag and throw. I mean, people just had all kinds of ways to get me off the platform today when I played. And honestly, playing it again today, I think I'm going to start playing the finals a little bit more while we're waiting for new content to come out in October. But Embark's done this before. And you also notice when you play the finals, a lot of the sound effects are reused for a lot of things that you heard in Arc Raiders, or at least they're very, very similar, which is pretty funny. But the idea of shifting around on an actual platform is something that is not new. Now, one big difference is on the finals, you don't take fall damage. So you can fall and, hit the ground, fall 100 feet and you're still up and running. Whereas in Arc Raiders, when you fall, unless you're using that little contraption that came up, that little balloon thing, or you're like a snap hook genius or something like that, you're going to splatter on the ground falling off of this platform. And who knows what's going to happen when, Rocketeers and stuff are firing missiles into the platform. I think things are going to get interesting when they do introduce it. So anyway, that's all I got for you today. I'm going to be covering more games. If there are any games that you want me to check out and cover, I would love to do that. I love playing games when I do get the time. Again, a casual gamer, I play a little bit every night with my wife, and we spend an hour or two playing games if we can. And then on the weekends, maybe we get a chance to spend more, just depending on work and all that good stuff. But thanks for tuning into the video. If you like the content, please show that by, hitting the like button, and I'll make more content. So, look forward to seeing you guys topside. Have a good day.